why is America getting sicker and sicker? We should be getting healthy.
Right.
But we're not. And so with like different medications, right, it may help a temporary symptom, but it's going to cause another issue. And so, and also like nutrition, working out, like we've got to talk about those things because people don't realize like food is medicine.
Hey everyone, you're listening to the Lively Charleston Podcast. Our goal with this show is to interact and tell the stories of the amazing people, places, and businesses that make Charleston the best city in the world.
If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to iTunes, Spotify, and YouTube.
And check us out on Instagram and Facebook where we post content regularly throughout the week. All right, today we have a very special guest, someone I'm very excited to chat with. You are doing big things here in the Southeast, and you've recently opened a location in Charleston.
Yes.
We're going to talk about all this, but first I'd like to welcome Miss Tylar Brannon to the show. Thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Okay, so we have a lot to talk about here.
Yes.
And over the next 30 minutes, we're going to get into this work that you've been doing, which is very impressive, and you've been growing very quickly. So we're going to talk about all this and what it is that you do and who you do it for. But first, if it's okay with you, we would like to get to know you a little bit.
Okay.
Is that okay?
That is okay.
Okay, so let's take it back. First of all, so you don't actually live in Charleston. You kind of meander around the Southeast,
Exactly.
Visiting your different locations
Yes.
here. But where'd you grow up and how did Charleston get on the map for you?
Yeah, so I grew up in Cary, North Carolina, which is about 15 minutes from Raleigh, and now I live in Raleigh. But I grew up there, and then I went to NC State for undergrad in Raleigh, and then I actually went to USC for grad school. So I have loved South Carolina for a very, very long time. And being a student at South Carolina, we, of course, traveled down to Charleston, and weirdly, like I always knew in the back of my mind I'd somehow come back to South Carolina. I always tell like people I work with or my friends, literally as soon as I drive back in South Carolina, it just feels right. And so after I graduated school, I actually moved to DC, then moved back to Raleigh, and then we opened our Charleston location in September. So now I'm back pretty frequently, which is great. And everyone is always like very confused that I haven't moved here yet. So I would assume with
myself included, right? Why wouldn't you live here?
Honestly, every time I'm here, I'm like, why don't I live here? So probably I would not be surprised if that happens.
Some point in the future.
100%. Yeah.
Got it. Okay. So we visit Charleston quite a bit.
Yeah.
And now you get it's a tax write-off.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
They say, right? Yeah.
So that's good.
Yeah.
Awesome. So you grew up in Cary, North Carolina, which you describe as kind of having a lot of similarities to Mount Pleasant.
Yes.
Okay.
Like very picturesque, like, the white picket fence, the perfectly groomed grass, soccer fields everywhere. Like when people like talk about childhood, I'm like, yeah, there's really nothing I complain about my childhood. Like Cary literally has a sign law that every sign has to like fit a certain image.
Oh.
It's like that's Cary in a nutshell,
Yeah,
which honestly I appreciate.
A lot of attention to detail there.
Yes,
okay.
yes,
And
yeah.
you've seen some of that manifest in your business and how you're doing that.
Yeah, I like attention to detail just a little
Just
bit.
a little,
If you
okay.
ask my team, I think that'd be one of the top things they would say. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so you, although you say the perfectly manicured grass, I think you have nicer grass up in North Carolina than we do down here.
Probably, right?
We have kind of that like thick, swampy, like weedy kind of grass down here.
Okay, yeah, we don't have that.
You guys
I mean,
have nice
maybe
grass.
somewhere. We have nice grass.
Yeah.
We love golf in Cary, but so do you guys down here. So
True.
grass is key, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not really a grass expert, but
Yeah,
I just know it's
me
nicer
neither.
up there. All right.
Yeah.
Anyways, okay, so your sport when you were younger was soccer.
Yes.
Okay. Tell us about that.
Love soccer. I played since I was 3. Very competitive, and like I miss it all the time. I think sports should be very in every day in a business. I think if businesses were run like a sports team, everything would be better. Because
yes,
right?
amen.
Because
100%.
you all have the same mission. You are all working as hard as you can. You work together because you have to. Because if you don't, you might not play well. You may lose, what have you. And it doesn't matter like if you're friends with that person, if you're not friends with that person. On the field or on the court, you're working together, right?
Yep.
And you could have some tense conversations, but you don't take it personally because that's just part of it.
Yeah, well, first of all, 100%.
Yeah.
Those are my favorite analogies
Yes.
when I'm trying to get a message across. It all comes back to sports.
Right? Yeah. I'm glad you understand that.
No, a
Yeah.
million percent. And usually, actually, even in like our interview and our recruiting process,
Yeah.
I already start using that language to make sure we're going to click and kind of be on the same page.
Yeah,
because they're going to hear a lot of that.
Right, yeah.
Right? But you're totally right. And when you have a shared mission, which is the proverbial championship,
Right.
whatever that, however you define that in your business,
Exactly.
then it's like you said, it doesn't really matter what your personal differences are or what sort of mood you're in today. Right now, you just gotta, block this guy.
Exactly.
Or whatever, make the
Right,
pass.
right.
And get the job done.
There's no other questions. There's no other like distractions. You're
Yeah.
fully all in.
Have you read Nick Saban's book?
I have not, but
But
I need to because I love Nick Saban.
it's so good. I'm reading it right now. I will get you a copy. It's
Thank you.
It's phenomenal. Honestly,
Yeah.
it's one of the. I was just kind of reading it as like it was going through my my queue. You probably have a queue of 100 books, right?
Exactly.
And this one just popped up, and I started reading it. It's one of the best books I've read as far as pulling
wow.
applications to business.
Yeah.
So I will get you a copy. You'll love it, especially if you like this language.
Exactly. And because the thing about Nick Saban, I could talk about Nick Saban for, hours, but the focus on discipline and teamwork and respect, because most of the SEC teams all have, 5-star recruits every year, but they don't win every year. So
Right.
what makes that difference, right?
100%. And he talks about a lot of that.
Yes.
You're going to love it.
Oh, wow. I'm so excited.
Okay, so you played soccer. You're the oldest of 7 siblings.
I'm the oldest of 7
Wow.
siblings. Yes, wow is right. But I will never have 7 children, but I would never change it. It's pretty cool. And I'm 33, my youngest sister is 14. So huge range,
man.
always something going on. And one of my sisters is starting college in the fall. So it's really cool to have that type of relationship with them and kind of see them now, think about when I was their age and kind of help them as much as you can. Like when I was 16, what would I have wanted or needed? Even though 16-year-old now and me 16 is very different. But
Right. How cool is that? So so they keep you young,
Oh,
right?
exactly.
In a way? Okay.
They 100% keep me young. They tell me what TikTok is, things like that.
Yep.
The important things.
Yeah, of course. The lingo.
The lingo,
things of that nature.
yes.
Yeah, okay.
They may make fun of me when they say something and I have zero idea. Yeah.
Well, and you can kind of, maybe you're a little more relatable than mom and dad in a lot of ways.
No, for sure. Definitely the middle ground, which is nice. It's really cool.
Yeah, very cool. Okay, so, and then your idol, you said, was Mia Hamm.
Yes.
How cool is that?
Right? Since I grew up playing soccer, right? I was always on the soccer field. I love soccer. And Mia Hamm was Mia Hamm, right? When they won the 1999 championship. And that image is will forever be in my head. And I have her jersey and I've met her several times because Carrie is very soccer focused. Mia Hamm went to Carolina, and so
Oh, I didn't know that.
yeah, so she went
Okay.
to Carolina. They played the U.S. team played a lot around, so I was able to see her play and meet her, which I guess a lot of people have. But yeah, Mia Hamm, because I loved playing soccer and it was great.
How awesome. I remember.
Yeah.
I feel like that 99 World Cup.
Yeah.
Everybody remember. I remember I was with a buddy at
Yeah.
Outback Steakhouse
Yeah.
watching the game. And
Yeah.
it was a bunch of buddies, and they won, and everybody went crazy, and it was it really made them way cooler than the men's national team
Exactly.
for a long time. I think they still
I think
kind of
so
are.
now, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. The U.S. women's team, I think they're always going to
They're awesome.
be top, right?
Yeah, just awesome. Okay. So with that, and then you go to you moved to USC to get your master's.
Yeah, so I went to law school and got my MBA as well.
Gotcha. Okay.
South Carolina, yes.
You went to law school.
I went to law school. I'm a lawyer.
You're
Yes,
a lawyer.
I'm
Okay.
a lawyer, yes.
Okay. See, so I didn't know that, especially, and we may have to explain this as we transition into the work that you're doing now,
100%, yeah.
which has nothing to do with law.
But I use it every day.
Interesting.
Magical,
Okay.
right?
It's funny how that works, huh?
Exactly, yes.
Okay, very good. So let's talk about what you're currently doing then.
Yeah.
What is your business and what do y'all do?
Yes, so I am the CEO of Optimal Bio, and Optimal Bio is a medical company with medical practices, and we specialize in BioIdentical Hormone Replacement Therapy, which is a mouthful, but all it means is it's all natural, and it's the exact same molecule that our body produces, so it knows how to metabolize.
Okay, let's see if I can repeat that. BioIdentical Hormone
Yes.
Replacement Therapy.
Look at you. Exactly.
Look at that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And you guys shorten it to BHRT. Okay,
exactly.
Got it. And so what is, how did you start this and what's the purpose of this treatment?
Yeah, so I'll start with the purpose. As we age, our hormones decrease. But But because of environmental factors like our food sources, our water supply, cleaning supplies, our toothpaste, it's causing our hormones to decrease at a lot quicker rate. Because in those toxins is xenoestrogens. What's a xenoestrogen? It's fake estrogen, but our body thinks it's estrogen, so then it makes our body stop producing our own testosterone and estrogen. And what people don't realize is testosterone and estrogen and progesterone each have over 500 functions in our body. So if we don't have enough, our bodies are not going to be able to function properly. So the top things we see every single day, male or female, fatigue, brain fog, trouble sleeping, anxiety, and depression. And then also, because it's bioidentical, it actually acts preventative. So it helps protect your brain from dementia, your heart from heart attacks, your bones from osteoporosis. Wow. So really a twofold effect of day to day and then keeping you healthy as you age.
Wow. Okay. So a lot to unpack here.
A lot to unpack.
Okay. So what you're saying is, one, just getting older, there's an effect on just hormone levels.
Correct.
And you're saying that we're kind of expediting this decrease just by with the products that we consume, ingest,
exactly,
all of that stuff. You said toothpaste?
Like
even toothpaste?
I know.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So look at your toothpaste. You want like a good organic.
I'm like a Crest guy, so it probably definitely has the
I'll
best
send
stuff.
you send me the Nick Saban book. I'll send you some good toothpaste,
Deal.
and it will be good to go.
Deal.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
All right.
And so, if you like get your blood work back, and it says normal range testosterone. Well, what's the normal range? It's the average of the population. So every year, the normal range decreases.
Yeah.
So you may go to the doctor. You don't feel good. They hopefully may test you for your hormones and their normal range, so that you're fine, right? So, for example, normal range for male testosterone right now is 228 to 828, which one is a huge range for anything, right? And two, our goal range for males is 900 to 1300. Where did we get our range? What's the difference? And that was literally what our grandparents were walking around at before all these environmental toxins have just really wreaked havoc on our hormones.
How much do you think lifestyle plays into that too, being more sedentary and a lot more desk jobs than, blue collar work?
Yeah, I think it could, because like, especially that lifestyle, like they weren't eating all day and snacking, right? They had those meals. So they were inherently fasting without thinking about it. They were going to bed at a decent time because they were waking up early. They didn't have the blue light. So that definitely plays a huge role. But also like we see top like athletes, not professional, but coming in, they may have like 7% body fat, like look super healthy, and they are healthy. They're doing all the right things, but our hormones still could be super low. Like I would say I'm a very healthy person. My testosterone's so low. So sometimes it doesn't matter, sadly, if you're working out or eating well, because the toxins play such a bigger role and we can't overcompensate that.
So let's play. Can I play patient here? Let's role play a little bit. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's say I come in to see you, and because you mentioned a couple things when you were just talking about brain fog and fatigue, and like I feel these things a lot.
Yeah.
And a lot of times it's in the nature of what we do. You just grind through it and you suck it up and you drink more coffee and like exactly. You just kind of like get through it.
Exactly.
Right? Whatever you have to do. But I know it's not optimal. And so to me, I wonder, okay, could I be doing more? Could I be doing better, higher quality work, whatever the case may be? So I come to you and I say, hey, I have some brain fog, some fatigue. I'm curious what's going on. What happens next?
Yeah, so even before you come in for your first appointment, you actually have like a phone consult to go over your questions, your symptoms, because I feel like with healthcare, there might be some nervousness or walls up. So we really want to start that conversation even before you come in. And then you come in, have your consultation with one of our providers. Exactly. Go over your symptoms, your questions, your health history, your lifestyle, the science behind hormones, BHRT. And then after that, you would get your blood work done. So we dose everyone's hormone dosage off of your blood work, height, weight, and activity level. So it's very personalized to what you need.
Got it. Okay. No. So let's say the blood work comes back. What would you see that would say, hey, we can help this person? And then what might a treatment plan look like?
Yeah, so for a male, we dose testosterone, female testosterone, and then if it's perimenopause, menopause, then that's when they would get estrogen and progesterone as well. Okay. But so for testosterone, we look at the testosterone level, and that's how we dose. And then for women, when we dose their estrogen, we actually dose it off of their FSH level. So your FSH is your brain telling your ovaries to produce estrogen. The higher your FSH level is, means you're getting into menopause and having those menopausal symptoms.
Got it. Okay. So my understanding of any sort of hormone therapy in my extensive Google research, it seems that it's kind of it's a very specific cocktail for each person, because it's almost like when you pull on one lever, there's other things that move.
Exactly.
And you're kind of trying to create an alignment with a variety of things, and not every person reacts the same way.
Exactly.
There's some tinkering there.
Right. And that's why, like, our bodies are truly incredible, right? We just have to give it the right fuel.
Yeah.
And so that's why it's very, very important what type of hormone treatment you're doing, right? And why we only do bioidentical, why we only do it the pellet method, because it's being the exact same molecule as your body knows how to use it just like your own. And then dosing it to the blood work also helps that, right? And so with pellets, it goes directly into your bloodstream.
Let's talk about the pellet.
Yes.
What is this?
So it looks like a grain of rice.
Okay.
And so we place it in like your upper hip buttocks area. And then you get into the goal range in about 3 to 4 weeks. And then it goes into your bloodstream. And then your body knows when to use it, just like your own hormones. And then there's no peaks and valleys. So you get into the goal range 3 to 4 weeks. And then for women, you stay constant for about 3 to 4 months, men 4 to 6 months. So like a shot or a cream, a gel, they're not bioidentical, but then you're going to have peaks and valleys, and you don't know how much you're getting, right? So back to your question of, tinkering a little bit.
Yeah.
Of course, that may happen, but because it's bioidentical, because we're dosing off of you and your symptoms and your blood work, it really helps mitigate any type of tinkering that may need.
Interesting. Okay, so there's this. It's the size of a grain of rice, this pellet, and it's inserted. It's just like a little incision, and then it's placed in there.
Exactly. And for women, it's even smaller than a grain of rice. It's like a little tap. Yeah. So you're numbed with lidocaine, a little incision with a trocar, so essentially like a metal straw, and it takes about 4 minutes, and then we give you steri strips, so no stitch. Pretty simple. You may be sore for a few days, but our providers are incredible, and so They know exactly what they're doing.
Okay, and then so this is so these pellets, they have a different dosage or a different sort of release schedule depending on what the individual needs.
Exactly. So we have a full range of different like milligrams for each, and then we actually have an algorithm that we put the blood work in, height, weight, and activity level, and then of course the provider can tweak it as necessary.
Wow. Okay.
But once you're well versed, like, I can dose someone just looking at them, and I'm not even a provider, right? But we use an algorithm, and then with the patient and the provider's conversation, may tweak it, but so that hopefully it's exactly what the patient needs. But again, like, medicine is an art and a science, right? And so especially because we're really trying to get the root cause and not a Band-Aid, so it may take time because we're trying to help, 30, 40, 50 years of inflammation, low hormones, what it may be.
Yeah. So what are I think that's a great point that you just made, which is addressing the root cause and not the Band-Aid.
Correct.
And I feel like unfortunately, a lot of the medical industry is selling Band-Aids.
Yes.
What are some of the Band-Aids that attempt to treat what you are also treating at the root cause?
And we're seeing that effect, right? Like, why is America getting sicker and sicker? We should be getting healthy.
Right.
But we're not. And so with, like, different medications, right, it may help a temporary symptom, but it's going to cause another issue. And so, and also, like, nutrition, working out, like, we've got to talk about those things because people don't realize, like, food is medicine. It's either going to hurt or help you. And so if you're going to the doctor and they're not even talking about nutrition, then we're missing a full part, right? And then hormones. So hormones are the foundation of your health because, like, gas to a car, hormones to your health. So if you don't have that, your body is just kind of cycling, just trying to kind of overcompensate for those missing pieces.
So you, when you guys give is it a treatment plan or is it a prescription or what do you?
Yeah, so it's a treatment plan.
Treatment plan. Okay.
And so the prescription we would use is progesterone. There's not a progesterone pellet. We also specialize in thyroid treatment. So sometimes we may use Armor Thyroid, which is to help with your thyroid. But it is a treatment plan, and it's pretty simple. Like, we send reminders when it's time to get blood work and when to come back in. but most people do know when it's time to come
Gotcha.
back. You'll like start kind of getting some of the symptoms that you had, why you came in for treatment. And we want to catch you when you're still in the goal range to keep you constant so you don't feel bad.
Okay. What other things are kind of packaged into that?
Yeah, definitely. So during consults, during placements, like our providers are so incredible, and we really believe in the patient provider relationship. So they're going to be talking about those things. And so we do have a wellness program as well. So it depends on where the patient's at, what their needs are. But yeah, nutrition, lifestyle is always part of a conversation. And then supplements. Supplements are a huge part of it because the minerals and the supplements used to be in our food sources, used to be in our soils, and now we're not, now they're not there. So we need to add back. One of the biggest supplements that we recommend is vitamin D. So vitamin D is actually a hormone. So a lot of low testosterone symptoms are low vitamin D symptoms as well. But the biggest thing with vitamin D, which is like truly incredible, if your vitamin D level is above 60, the chance of getting about 15 to 20 different cancers decreases dramatically. So it's like if you can just take vitamin D, it could really, really help.
Wow, that's wild.
Right?
I definitely did not know that.
And most people don't. Like, I didn't know this before I started with working with Optimal Bio, and that's why our biggest thing is education. We just want to let everyone know what we know and be like, hey, this is what we do, this is why we do it, just so that people know what's out there. There may be a solution for them, because most of our patients that we see, they've been to other doctors, right? And the doctor's like, you're fine, this is normal, but they're like, I don't feel good, right? I don't feel like myself. So then they may be like, wait, is it all in my head? So that's why our education is so big.
No, absolutely. Well, and especially when you start talking about the preventative side of things.
Yes.
Because I do think as part of human nature, we tend to not act until there's some sort of pain happening.
Exactly.
And then we want to fix the pain, right?
Exactly.
But if there's no pain, we're like, hey, I'm all good.
Or we try to push through it, right? We're fine. We're fine. And that's what I always say. The reason why I'm on treatment is, one, fatigue. I had terrible fatigue, but you said, it's oh, well, it's normal. I'll just have another coffee. But then secondly, and probably 1A, right, is it protects my brain from dementia. So you knowing that, especially women get dementia way more than men. And so it's if I can help, we're not saying it's 100% going to help with everything, right? Sure. But if you can be little pieces, it all adds up, right?
Well, and to your point, I mean, nothing's 100%.
Exactly.
Right?
Yep.
But if you can just stack the odds in your favor as best you can, the part that we can control.
Right. And health, if you don't have your health, that impacts everything else in life. Your relationship with yourself, with your family, with your friends, your work. Health is so important. If you want to just be happy, push the limits as much as you can, you have to have your health.
No, you're absolutely right. I remember hearing, I can't give credit because I don't remember where this came from, but it was a story, maybe it was a fable, about this really, really rich billionaire who was living on a private island, and he flew there on a helicopter and had his beautiful wife and family and his friends and this huge mansion and the whole thing. And he was being fed grapes. Yeah. But he had a sore throat. Yeah. And the entire experience was ruined because he had a sore throat. Yeah. And he just, every time he would swallow one of these delicious grapes being fed to him, it hurt. Yeah. Right. And so that one little component of not having your health can, really put quite a damper on, what would otherwise be an amazing lifestyle.
Exactly. And, we see all mental health right now there's so many problems across ages, male, female, and it's so sad. And it's well, why? What is that happening? And so, testosterone actually helps protect the part of your brain with anxiety and depression. And so that's why usually women have more chances of anxiety and depression, because we have less testosterone, but now we see less testosterone across the board. And so just little pieces like that, or just knowing, right? Knowing oh, this is why I feel this way today, I think is so huge. And it makes then you feel better, right? Doesn't help correct everything, but just knowing is hey, this is why I feel this way.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Now, you guys have been growing really fast. So, and we mentioned this in the beginning of the episode. You've opened 7 locations in 4 years.
We have, yes.
So clearly you're helping a lot of people and it's working.
We try,
and the word is out. The secret is out.
Yeah.
So first of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
On your success there.
Thank you.
And so how's that been in the last 4 years?
Yeah, it's been a wild ride, but incredible. It's kind of when you're just working every day, you don't really pick your head up and see it. And at the end of every year, I put a year-end presentation together for the team. And at that time, I'm like, okay, we did do something.
Yeah.
But it's been really, really incredible. I feel like you know this exactly. Like being part of something, building a team, building a company. And it's just like, yeah, there are some hard days, but like, I want to be in it, right? That's why I love soccer. I played center mid. Like, I want to be in it. And our team is truly incredible. And so this is actually the first year, starting the year with a full team in every office, which is truly incredible.
Wow.
So I'm like, this is just the beginning for Optimal Bio. So the first few years, myself and our medical director, we traveled to every location and just built it little by little. So, for example, like when we opened our Charlotte location, we would see patients in Cary Monday mornings and then patients in Charlotte Monday afternoons. And then we did that with every location and just built it and just giving that patient the best experience and then, just building it by that. But
that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And it sounds like a lot of hard work.
Yes. Oh, a lot of hard work and just trying to figure it out and trying to learn and hiring the right people and realizing who is not the right person. Because if you go into any of our offices, our team is awesome. Like companies can say they're mission driven, right? But we fully and truly believe in what we do. And so that comes out by whoever answers the phone to who you're, dealing with in the office. And we all enjoy coming to work. Yes, there are hard days, there are bad days, but at the end of the day, we all do want to be there.
That's amazing. And it's really a testament to you and your, maybe your medical director, or are there some co-founders with you?
Yeah. So the medical director and I, we are co-founders.
Got you. Okay.
Yes,
okay.
Yes.
So it's a testament to you guys. If your culture's so amazing and your team's so amazing, because, they're all kind of feeding off of your energy and the tone that you set. So that's really amazing.
That's very nice of you. I can't take credit, right? But I try. We try to make the culture as best as possible and make decisions based off of Optimal Bio's core values, mission. And that's why when it's a hard decision, it's like, well, what's our goals? What's our core values? What is best for the team and the patients? Yeah.
And you can't go wrong whenever you stay just kind of, within those guidelines, right?
Or you learn from what you did wrong,
100%.
right? Yeah.
So what is your vision for your company over the next 5 years?
Yeah, so it's wild, like 5 years, because I'm like just thinking of the past 4 years, right? What I've ever said, completely, created a company, 7 locations, but I would say going into Texas and Florida is next on our radar.
Okay.
So I was actually just in Austin last week looking at some spaces, looking into Florida right now. So definitely adding more offices in the Southeast and Texas. So yeah.
Amazing. Very good. So we have, I guess like you said, 4 years ago, you wouldn't have imagined you'd have 7 now.
Yeah.
So as far as like putting any sort of quantifiable metric behind that growth, it's probably very difficult to do.
Yeah. So we want to open 10.
Okay.
And then kind of reassess there.
Okay.
So where's 10 at? And then do we acquire to get to 10? But 10 is where we want to see, and then see, do we need to like fully just focus on the 10? Or where are we at then? What kind of team do we have? The structure that we have. But 10 is where our goal is currently, and then going from there and building off of it.
Amazing. Because with each level of growth, you have new problems that you've now created and new team members and new skills required and the whole thing. So I think that's good to reassess at some of those benchmark points.
But I'm like, I'm 33. Like I have the next however many years to build this and see what we can get. And like I said earlier, like this is just the beginning for Optimal Bio, so I'm super excited to see what we do with it. I'm
excited too. I'm gonna be watching, keeping up with what you guys are doing.
Yes, thank you. I love that.
So if somebody wants to learn more about you or Optimal Bio, where can they go?
Yeah, so optimalbio.com, incredible information. We have a podcast there as well. Of course, we talk about hormones, but we really talk about all wellness medicine. Also on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Okay. Our Instagram, like I was talking about earlier, education is huge. So our Instagram is incredible.
I can vouch for the Instagram. I was scoping that out, doing a little research. There's a lot of really great information on
Yes, thank you. Our marketing team is great, and we love content, like meaningful content, not just putting it up there. So we're like, everything that we talk about every day, we're like, how can we get it to people, right? Yeah. And then I'm on LinkedIn. Of course, I have Instagram, but right now I really just kind of post stuff on Optimal Bio. Maybe one day I'll start posting more content on my Instagram.
Gotcha. And with the TikTok, is that a thing?
Oh, Optimal Bio has a TikTok.
Really?
Yes, we have a TikTok because we have to have a TikTok. I do not have a TikTok. I do not go on TikTok. The only time I go on TikTok is when people send them to me.
Oh, and then, but just like through the browser, and then it doesn't really work. And
exactly.
I
but I'm like, I can't go on TikTok.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Optimal Bio has a TikTok. It's great.
Okay. All right. So we can find you on TikTok, Instagram, all the places.
Yes. Okay. All the places.
Okay. Last couple questions.
Yes.
These are some of my favorite questions when we get into these. Question number 1: if you could go back in time and give young Tyler a piece of advice, she's not as seasoned or as wise as this current edition of Tyler that we have here, what would you say to her?
I would say have self-confidence and go with your gut. It's something I work on every day now. I was very just structured as like, go to college, go to grad school, like do this, do that. And by me going to law school and then veering and creating my own path, definitely in the beginning, because people will be like, wait, you're a lawyer, but you do X, like that doesn't make sense. And before I was like, oh yeah, like I'm not doing the exact path that you're supposed to, right? And I love it and I wouldn't change it for the world. So I would say having that confidence and like listening to yourself, you know a lot more than you think.
I love it. Amazing. Yeah. Amazing. Okay. Last question.
Yes.
If you could give one piece of advice to someone who maybe is watching or maybe they already know about you and what you guys are up to and they're feeling inspired to make a big jump or to take a big risk, but it's scary.
Yeah, it is.
What would you say to them?
I would say make sure you know your why. Like, why are you doing that? And your purpose, because that's going to get you through really hard days. I mean, and just put your head down and work. I think there's a work ethic and a discipline that's missing across the board right now. And if you are going to be at the helm and create your own company, create your brand, your team, you're going to have really hard days. You might have hard weeks, hard seasons. So by you going back to why you're doing it will help you get through those and just keep working. Like, just put your head down and work. Like, I would not change anything for what I do, and I absolutely love it. But I feel like, especially with the social media age, everything just looks so easy and shiny, but it's not, but it's worth it. So just making sure you're doing it for the right reasons and working and having discipline. Like, so setting up your structure of your life to, be able to prepare as much as possible. Like, I don't wake up on Monday and hoping for the best. Like, what did I do previously to prepare?
Right.
Like, what did I do? What did not do? Right. And then continually learning. Like, I live in my car, so I always have a podcast on.
I lied. Final question. What are some of your favorite podcasts?
So The Skinny Confidential, I think maybe my favorite podcast because it feels like you're part of a conversation and they have incredible guests on. So whether it be business leader, scientist, what have you, but you're always learning, and then they're always doing something great. So it's like, wait, they had a hard week, then I can have a hard week, right? It makes it very relatable and just like, it's like, okay, let's keep going.
The Skinny Confidential.
Yes, I love them.
I'll have to check it out.
Check it out. It's great.
Amazing. Yeah. Well, you have been amazing. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us, for being a guest on our podcast. I had a pleasure chatting with you and look forward to keeping up with your journey and your growth over the next several years and beyond.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Hey y'all, that's a wrap on today's episode. Thanks so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to like or follow or subscribe, whatever platform you're on, just hit the button to make sure you don't miss any future episodes.
Yep, and please help us grow the channel by sharing it with someone else who might enjoy it as well. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.